Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is well. I am here today because I lagged on getting a video in earlier this week, but my goal is 3 a week, so we're gonna see how that goes. So anyway, my last video was I think 3 days ago. So in between that time, then and now, things were fine. I kept my addictions at bay, I would say. Stayed on top of my meditation. One thing that I am slacking on is working out, and it's showing. And I have to insert that into my routine. And a few months ago, probably no, actually last year, I was at the weight I wanted to be, and then I essentially gained it all back because I just gotten into that I didn't care mode. So now I have to get out of that and focus on that more. So anyway, other than the workouts, everything has been good. However, one of the things that really stuck with me over the past 3 days, 3 to 4 days, is unfiltered rage, unfiltered emotion. And, it was really in my head, all day, every day, pretty much all this week, because there were instances that I got angry, super angry. Angry at things that I can't even remember at this moment, but things that little tiny like flies that are just in your face. You're just like, fuck off. But then it turns into a huge thing, like a snowball effect. So it being hot and doing chores here or there. Sometimes they were just getting, in my head. And then, when the kids misbehave and, you're definitely trying to be in that understanding mode. But there are times where they haven't seen you all day and now they want to press your buttons. And that happened a few times this week. So I was losing myself in losing control of the of that anger. Now, I didn't, obviously, nothing physical, of course not. I don't do anything. What, if anything, what I do, and I feel guilty about it all the time, is that I lose my cool. And when kids come at you, you are supposed to respond with understanding and not react and get all nuts and crazy. But it's really hard to do. It's really hard to take that step back and pause and go, okay, let's address whatever we need to address. So yeah, that's what was happening, and I was losing my cool, and I don't want that. And I don't want that for them, to just lose my cool and be like, hey, come on, guys, blah, blah, that kind of stuff, give me some space or whatever. I hate doing that. Because I love these kids, but they're just being kids, So it's just the things in life, like home life or traffic or your boss or illnesses, whatever. I mean, anything in the world right now that irritates you, it's going to put you in that mindset where you get angry and your thoughts start getting worse and worse. And anger, especially anger, has to be checked right away. So, the unfiltered rage. There's nothing wrong, obviously, when this anger, just a wave of anger comes over you. That's the initial. That's normal. The initial wave of happiness, of laughing, of love, whatever. It is what it is. It's all about being human. But let's say you get into a car accident with someone, and it was definitely their fault, and they did something stupid and whatever, and you either let that wave of rage overtake you and lose yourself, lose control of your mind, and almost just going on autopilot, just getting angry and digging into that person and saying hurtful, mean things, all that kind of stuff. As in with arguments, within arguments, wait. If you're in a heated thing with somebody and now it's getting to the point where you're name calling and saying, well, F you, this, that, all that kind of stuff, leave the room, take a step back, check that rage before you say something stupid. And that's what happens. You get angry, and in that fit of rage, bleh, just shit comes out of your mouth, and then an hour later you're apologizing about it. So instead of doing that, do not be a slave to rage. Do not be a slave to your emotions. Be in charge. Check that rage before it gets out of hand. And what I do is just that. If something's bothering me to the point where I'm visually gonna lose my cool, I just take a step back and breathe. And then I have an extra few seconds to assess what's going on. And then go from there. And it makes all the difference in the world. I was thinking the other day about this unchecked emotion. And I think the reason why love is so addicting is because that initial wave of love, of being in love with someone, it's so unfiltered and 100% love. And when that goes unchecked, that can create problems too. Of, saying I love you too soon, giving yourself over to somebody, losing yourself within a relationship, all that kind of stuff. So even love has to be checked once in a while. So yeah, unchecked emotions. 100% rage. Don't let that initial wave overtake you. Don't let it consume you, because you will be showing younger people, kids, you'll be showing, and we're really everyone, you'll be showing them your character. You'll be showing them, wow, okay, I know when I grew up, I would see my dad, kind of fly out the handle over something that is minor in hindsight, but he at that time was I see a lot of me in him and him in me. I think he was at that time an unhappy abuser of alcohol and addicted to anger, just rage, just being angry, and I saw him react to something minor, something spills on the floor or whatever, and goes into a fit of rage. He's got a short fuse, he just goes nuts. So as a kid, I'm looking at this going, oh, well, okay, so this is how you're supposed to react. So this is what I'm going to do, and I did exactly that for years. Teens, 20s, 30s, just having that short fuse, just being seemingly this tense ball of frustration all the time. And if something didn't go exactly right, I would go crazy. I would go nuts. I would get angry. And I would never check that rage. I was always a slave to anger. And it ruins a lot of things. You know, it could ruin your life, most definitely. It can, obviously, hurt people. And I've hurt a lot of people with my anger in the past, of saying something stupid, the ego or whatever, just running loose, and you lose these people. You know, I'll admit, back in the day, before my journey, I was a humongous asshole. The people that have stuck with me through that, and that are still in my life now, they are saints. They need a medal. They stuck with me, and they're beautiful people, and I love them. Because during that asshole stage of mine that lasted many, many years, I was burning bridges. I was just being this arrogant piece of crap. You know, I would say that my ego was probably the biggest, or I thought my ego was the biggest in the room, you know, with the crowd of people. No, I had the biggest ego, you know. But the bigger the ego, not the bigger the ego, the bigger the ego, the more fragile it is. And that's what it was. Fragile ego, short fuse, recipe for disaster. So, mentally and emotionally, I'll admit, I abused a lot of people. Friends, family members, just doing dumb shit, hurting people. And I look back and I'm like, well, for what? To make me feel better? I don't know why. I don't. That's the thing. It's unimportant. Anger magnifies shit that shouldn't be a thing. You know? I mean, it's... People fight over the dumbest shit, is basically what I'm trying to say. And a week later, you forget what you fought about. It's that kind of stuff. It's wasted energy. It's wasted time. Once you check your emotions, you save a lot of time and energy. And you are very cool and mellow. And that's where it needs to be. Quick story, and then I'll let you go. So, years ago, during my asshole stage, of course, I was living with my girlfriend at the time, and her sister's friends came over, and they at the time were heavily religious and going to church and just known for being these loving, godly people. It was wild, you know. So they came over to visit for some reason. I guess, you know, obviously to visit the sister or whatever. But anyway, I was talking with the guy. It was a couple, and I'm forgetting his name. I'm sorry, but he was telling me that I think a few days prior to their visit, his car got broken into, and he said, because it was parked on the street, you know, someone broke his windows, and I think stole stereo, just stuff. And you know, he said that they really just did a number on, they overdid it, basically, breaking in. So he's telling me this story, and he is so mellow. He's so balanced. He's just like, yeah, man, you know, it happened, and what, you know, it is what it is, and I'm gonna take care of it, and blah blah blah, all this stuff. And here's me. I was angry for him. I was taking on that anger. Out of where? Where was this anger coming from? So I was getting pissed off and angry, and I was getting mad at these thieves that I didn't know, and this wasn't my situation, and I'm getting lost in anger. Anger makes no sense. It's crazy. Of course, we get angry and we get mad at shit. We're human. That's what happens. But holding on to it, letting it just consume you, it makes no sense. Holding on to anger. How much anger are you holding on to right now? How much anger am I still holding on to right now? If you can I'm sure you could take inventory and just list all the things that you're still angry about. All these years later, like 10 years ago, some dude called me an asshole, and I'm still thinking about it, That's not freedom. Part of an aspect of true freedom is not being tied down by rage and anger. And the same goes for stress and worrying and depression and all this kind of stuff. It's about keeping your mind, keeping it, not losing it. I heard that today. I listened to a YouTube video of the great Mooji. Check him out, Mooji. And basically, to sum up his video, at the end he said, keep your mind. Keep your mind. Don't lose your mind. Keep your mind. Keep everything in check. Keep everything balanced as best you can. And of course, now we have another long video. My apologies. I like to ramble. Apparently, I like to get a lot of stuff off my chest, and I thank you so much for listening if you've made it this far into the video. So I urge you, feel free to like, subscribe, share, talk to people about this video, about this channel. I want to see how fast it can grow. Comment, let me know what you think. If you have any constructive criticism, let me know. If you have any topics you want me to talk about, let me know. And turn on notifications, of course. I'm going to get going. I love you guys. I truly do. In this world right now, there's so much hate, there's so much division, there's so much madness going on. It just seems like the world is like cracking, and it's about to explode. Just love people. Do something nice. Go out of your way to do something nice for someone today. Be a servant unto God. Be a servant for other people. And I think that's it. Yeah. I'm going to get going, and thank you so much. Have a good time wherever you are. I hope you're smiling. I hope you're having a good time. Bye-bye.